Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. One of the more fascinating recruiting battles that we've seen in the 2025 class set to come to a close late Wednesday night as five-star defensive back DJ Pickett choosing between three schools, Oregon, Miami, LSU. Want to get into what DJ Pickett brings to the college football landscape and then kind of talk about the draw that all these schools have for DJ Pickett. It has been a fascinating recruitment for DJ Pickett, where you go back 12 months, he was trending to the Florida Gators. You go back to the spring, was probably trending to LSU, at times trending to Miami, at times trending to Oregon. And now it sounds like within the last week leading up to this commitment, it sounds like it's Oregon, the Miami Hurricanes battling it out. A fascinating recruitment battle where you look at Oregon and Miami, there hasn't been many programs that have been better closers on the recruiting trail than Dan Lanning and the Oregon Ducks, Mario Cristobal, and the Miami Hurricanes. Want to get into DJ Pickett a little bit, talk about what he brings to the college football landscape, talk about what's pulling DJ Pickett to Miami, to Oregon. Before we do, and as always, just want to say thank you to you guys. As a Michigan fan myself, I don't have a dog in this race, but the amount of support the Miami fans have shown, the Oregon Duck fans have shown as we've broken down all these commitments of the summer, I can't thank you guys enough. It's something that I absolutely love to do as a college football fan in the summer months. All the support that you guys have shown truly does mean a lot. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Much more importantly, let it fly in the comments section. Let me know where you think DJ Pickett ends up late Wednesday night. And without further ado, let's get into this one now. You start with DJ Pickett as a prospect. I've talked about him in relation to the Oregon Ducks, talked about him in relation to the Miami Hurricanes. This is one of the premier athletes that you see in 2025. He's a four-sport athlete, obviously going to play football, but also runs a 10.6 in the 100-meter dash. Phenomenal basketball player, phenomenal baseball player. We talk about this all the time at the high school trail. You want to just bet on athletes. DJ Pickett at 6'4", 180 pounds, running a 10.6 in the 100-meter dash. You don't really see this caliber athlete all too often coming from the high school ranks. Now, furthermore, just because he's a great athlete, he's a great football player. That's kind of where it starts. That's why he's a top 10 national prospect. What, at least in my mind, makes DJ Pickett even more special is the position versatility that he brings. Now, we'll get into the film later on Wednesday night. You'll look at DJ Pickett and say he can do so many different things for a college football defense at the next level. You look at 6'4", 180, he certainly can play that boundary cornerback spot. He can play press man coverage. He's got extremely long arms. He can put hands on wide receivers. He can run with wide receivers vertically down the field with that 10.6, 100-meter speed. You look at all the freak show athletes at the wide receiver position. You need freaky caliber athletes at the cornerback spot to deal with those kind of wide receivers. DJ Pickett, in my mind, is one of those guys that you just feel good about matching up against some of those real special caliber wide receivers that we see at the collegiate level. Now, me personally, I think he could be even a better safety at the college football level because you look at 6'4", 180 pounds, has the ability to come in and play man coverage, which we talk about all the time. When you have safeties that can be elite in man coverage, it allows your defense to get extremely creative in terms of what they want to do, what pressures they want to bring, and kind of what schemes they want to run. A lot of safeties are liabilities in man coverage, and it kind of limits what defenses can do when you have a safety that just can't hold up in man coverage. DJ Pickett can. But I think more importantly, you take a look at DJ Pickett being a single high or a two high safety, the amount of ground that DJ Pickett can cover with the length and the speed, this could be a ball hawking safety that just lives to take away the football in the air, right? When you're 6'4", 180 and that football's in the air, he has the ability to cover a lot of ground, get the football at its highest point. I look at him as a safety prospect and say, he's got all the physical traits to be an elite safety that can come in the box. He can play man coverage. He can be a force in the run game with that imposing frame. There's just nothing that DJ Pickett can't do. So not only is DJ Pickett a phenomenal athlete, but I think more importantly, he gives you that position versatility in that defensive back room where you can get your best 5-6 guys in the secondary on the football field. Now you get into what it sounds like are the two contenders for DJ Pickett. the Oregon Ducks, the Miami Hurricanes. Let's start with Oregon. And you look at Oregon and say they've shown the ability to close on these elite prospects in the 2025 cycle. You look at guys like DeCorian Moore. You look at guys like Dorian Brew. Dan Lanning has shown that he is extremely dangerous late in the process, kind of closing the gap with these elite prospects in the 2025 cycle. And Oregon has put a lot of investment into this secondary. You look at guys like Brandon Finney, you look at guys like Dorian Brew. Dan Lanning wants to build a strong secondary in this 2025 cycle. DJ Pickett would kind of be that crown jewel for the Oregon Ducks in 2025. Now, you look at the Miami Hurricanes and what kind of is pulling DJ Pickett to Miami. I think it starts with the family connections, the family tradition. This is kind of the hometown school for DJ Pickett. Obviously, his cousin Booker Pickett, a guy that I was a massive fan of in the 2024 class, is enrolled with the Miami Hurricanes. There's a lot that's pulling DJ Pickett to the Miami Hurricanes as well. There is no doubt in my mind Mario Cristobal, this coaching staff have had a lot of face time with DJ Pickett, whether it's on campus, whether it's visiting his school. The closer proximity, you know that Mario Cristobal has been a dog on a bone in terms of getting in front of DJ Pickett, making him feel welcomed at this Miami Hurricanes program. And I think one of the more intriguing storylines is this kid's a Florida kid. You look at the distance between Florida, Eugene, Oregon, you would think that that would play a role. You look at the Oregon Ducks, they've landed 2 elite prospects in the state of Florida, Dallas Wilson, Zaire Addison. They've shown the ability to mitigate some of the distance problems and distance concerns that a lot of these high school kids have by going to Florida, getting in front of them, getting them out to Eugene. So I think in a common recruiting battle, you'd probably lean Miami because they are kind of the hometown school, if you will. Dan Lanning has shown the ability to come into Florida and make it happen with these high caliber kids. And so I look at DJ Pickett going to Oregon or Miami and say it is going to be extremely contested. Now, I want to talk about LSU for a second. I think he probably has the strongest relationship with defensive backs coach Corey Raymond. It does sound like it's between Oregon and Miami kind of leading into the last 24 hours of this recruitment. It's going to be fascinating. And again, you're looking at 2 head coaches, 2 programs, Oregon, Miami. They've been some of the best closers on the recruiting trail that you've seen in the country. And so I think it's fascinating to see where DJ Pickett ends up. We'll obviously be breaking down the film when he commits to either of these schools late Wednesday night. Wanted to hop on and kind of preview it, talk about where the fits are and what player and what DJ Pickett brings to each program. We'll close it there. Appreciate you guys rocking with it. Again, if y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you guys. We'll talk to y'all later. Peace.